How do you define being strong as a man? Is it possible to redefine strength to include vulnerability and emotional well being?
Well, uh, being male, you are supposed to be physically stronger, right? But for me, being strong also means being mentally strong, being emotionally strong. Like, for example, say, being a man, you carry certain principles, certain characters, which are probably helpful for himself, being healthy, and they are also harmless for the society. Okay, but if certain situation comes where he has to get diverted from certain principles, the character he carries, and when he was compelled or he made compulsory to do certain things, and then he does it, probably that is harmful for himself and for harmful for the society as a whole as such. So that is where you are vulnerable, and that is where you need to be physically strong and mentally strong as well, so that basic principle is learn to say no. That should be your motto, and certain situations demand learning to say no, and that is where a strong character lies. That is what I feel.
Okay, next question. In what ways do you think traditional gender roles and expectation contributes to men's mental health challenges? How can we challenge and overcome these barriers?
Hmm. See, traditionally, if you are talking about Indian traditions, Indian male is supposed to be the Karta Purush of the family, right? So that way he carries lot many responsibilities. He has to carry the burden of finances. He has to keep everyone safe and sound mentally and emotionally and physically also. So he probably plays that different kind of roles at different situations, right? And of course, the current situation is such that it brings about lot much stress on physical aspects of a male, and as well as its mental and emotional aspects. um, so yes, that stress leads to probably some physical ill health, that leads to some emotional imbalances, and probably a vulnerable male or a character will probably go for certain things which probably are not good. Like, for example, he may indulge in certain situations, he may indulge in, like, say, certain substances, or say, abuse his own body and something like that. Probably that is where being mentally strong does help, and to understand the situation which is good for the health, which is good for the society, that he needs to be aware of, and that he needs to carry all the time. I think that is where this kind of situations and emotional balance and everything should be the motto and should be the priority for Indian males as such, if you are talking about.
Okay,
Thank you.
and how do you suggest we can overcome these barriers?
That person has to be quite open minded, he has to be very joyful, he has to accept all his physical as well as mental shortcomings, he has to be open, right? Like, he needs to have a certain kind of, say, emotional buddy, or say a playful buddy. He should be like a sports person who is also gracious in defeat. So if he opens up emotionally, he talks to, say, kind of his very close friend or a family, maybe a spouse, or maybe a grown up children. It continues to be there in present. That is how it should help, I think. So being joyous, being meditative, being open, of course being helpful and being grateful also, and continue to do certain acts of kindness. Okay, so you can have a random act of kindness per se, that is going to increase your well-being, your self-worth, your self-esteem. Like in small situations also, like you are walking on the street and you are seeing a beggar, doesn't have any clothes, you give him something to purchase a cloth, or you actually give them some clothes to wear. these kind of random acts you should continue to do, so become mentally and even very stronger. Thank you.
Thank you.